Hello, and welcome to the stream. Um, do, do that real quick. Mute that. Tonight we're gonna go back to one of my old favorite games. I did a series um, on the first of this series, and I figured, I've been kind of bouncing around between games. I wasn't sure really what to do. So we're gonna go back to some Sega Genesis, and we're gonna start with Shining Force 2. Alright. So, I did play Shining Force earlier, um, and um, that is the first part of this series. So I'm gonna shut up and let the whole thing kind of play out. This is the introduction to the game. So this whole thing sets up this entire game. Everything that's happening right now tells the very beginning. So you have King Grandseal, who is the king of Grandia, and they are the protectors of the Jewels of Evil and the Jewel of Light. So it'll explain a little bit more about the legendary jewels later throughout the story. So I don't really want to give too much away, but there are two jewels. The Jewel of Light and the Jewel of Evil, which I've just explained a little bit ago. That being said, the jewels sealed something, because of course the jewels are going to seal something. So now, since the jewels were stolen, things are happening. The ancient tower sealed something. So the jewels sealed the tower. So now that the jewels are gone, the tower is becoming unsealed, which is in turn releasing some stuff. I don't like I said, I don't want to give it too much away. Things are happening. Bad things are happening. You know, once those jewels were taken out, it kind of starts like a domino effect. This happens, and then this happens, and then it keeps hitting. So the king is perplexed. He has no idea what's going on. And it's kind of like a strange thing that all of this is even happening. I don't know if you caught that, but there was a little thing right there. In case you didn't know, that was their simulation of flying. They didn't have great mechanics back then. And the king has fainted. And this is where we're actually going to start the game. So it gives you a nice little introduction to what's happening on in the world, and then you have your traditional person who's going to be your save keeper. So I'm going to start a brand new game. I do have one, but call me Data 2. Call me Bowie. Let's go back. Everybody's name's capitalized. Now, Bowie is the traditional name for the character. So, in my other save file, I have saved as my name. So, we're going to keep it as Bowie. Now, we could either go... The difference between these is just... There's really not much difference. I mean, you still get the same amount of XP. The enemies, like, really aren't even that much harder. But for the sake of just trying to get through the game, we'll do it on normal. So this is your character. If you remember from previous Shining Force, a lot of it looks the same. The movements, everything. The menu here, you're actually able to see a few different things inside the menu. Of course, there's your items, your equipment, and then your magic. So you can see a lot more in this than you did before. Now, instead of like having to go in and select the search, you can actually use the C button on this time, and it'll take you through everything. How'd it go? So in this one as well, you're probably going to have to search basically everything. If you search everything, you're going to find stuff. You're going to find different items, some like unique items as well. And the unique items are very important. And I'll explain that whenever I find the first one. Now, I've played this game more times than I can remember, so a lot of it is just muscle memory of knowing where things are at. So this is Sarah. Sir Astral, our teacher, is in the basement. And this fella right here is Chester. Now if you come in here, this is Sir Astral. And you can read the bookshelves. This one, it's a Sega guide. So, obviously, they were just kind of like doing like a nod to the game system. Which I thought was a pretty cool Easter egg whenever I first played this. Which was back whenever Sega Genesis was a brand new console. So, it's been a while. So Sir Astral, he is a mystic. He knows... well, he's like a mage. So think of him as like a Merlin. So he senses something was wrong in the with the storm last night. So of course, kids being kids, they hear that the king is sick. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna try to get to the castle. Ooh, maybe we can meet the princess. Of course we're gonna go. So here are our two first characters. Sarah, the priest, and Chester, the knight. Chester is a centaur, as you can tell, because he's a horse, and Sarah is an elf-ish girl, kind of. So of course, I mean, there's going to be a lot of characters in this game, and these two will be with you for a very long time. So it's good to kind of invest early with them, get them levels as much as you can, and then just kind of save a little bit. In this one, there's additional items you can do, or you can find, that will change their classes up, and I'll explain that a little bit later. So there's just, it's the castle. Um, there are 3 treasure chests over here. And what's different about this one too is once my inventory is full, it'll actually send whatever item will go to the next person. So I found we found an angel wing, he passed it to Sarah. And this last one is an antidote. Don't at me. Yes, I know this game so well. He passes it to Chester. There aren't too many games that I know like this. There's a couple where I know almost every nook and cranny of it. Chrono Trigger might be another one. I don't know everything about it because it does have multiple endings, and I did get most of them, or I at least viewed most of them. I didn't. Sometimes I still have to refer to like strategy guide or an online help. But what we're gonna do is come up to the king's bedroom to check on him, see if he's okay. Grand Seal Kings. Alright, so we have the king who's in bed, Sir Astral, the princess, and the minister. Of course we wanted to see the castle. We're freaking kids. Alright. Alright, so now we're headed to the tower to see why this, or see what happened to the seal. Now, I'm gonna go and search in a random spot. What this random spot, seemingly random spot is, it's gonna give me an item. An item will help craft endgame weapons and endgame weapons. There isn't any armor in this game, just like it was in the first one. So I'm gonna say it's about 3 in, maybe 4. So I'm searching the back side of this castle. Okay, where is it? Okay. Okay. I swear it's here. Okay. What's happening? Is it on this side? Alright, it's making me into a liar, and I apologize, but what the heck is going on? Where is it? I know it's back here. Okay. it's here. I know it's here. There it is. There it is. Okay, so mithril. You need mithril to craft endgame material or endgame items. And the thing with the mithril is it's a total roll of chance. So you need to find dwarves. Dwarves will help create this, but you don't get these weapons until there's maybe like 10 or less battles left in the game. Which is fine, but they're pretty powerful. One of them is a ninja blade that has a chance of cutting an enemy in half. And that enemy can be at 100% HP, and as soon as this knife hits them, they're dead. You'll see the screen just kind of like split them in half. It's pretty cool. There's also, a couple lances, a couple arrows, and a few other things that just, it just boosts the attack power, and it has additional passive bonuses that are just amazing. So you kind of need to be lucky, but you also need to save it. Say you're looking for like that ninja blade I was talking about. Just have it craft like 4 at a time, or 2 at a time, or something like that. And if it's not the one you want, you basically just have to reset the game and try it again, and keep it rolling until you can get the weapon. So that's pretty far off, so we're not going to worry about it right now. But what we are going to do is try to collect all of the mithril that I can remember. So this is an evil Gizmo. The Gizmo is a type of demon that has come out of the tower. So since the seal was broken on the tower, more and more evil demons are coming out. And what they're going to do is, what demons do. They're going to wreak havoc on the town, the people, pretty much everything. Since these enemies can fly, I'm going to do the same strategy that I've done the other dozen times that I've played this, is just kind of wait, have them come to me, because again, if you overextend, especially with your party leader, he dies, you have to start it all over. It's not like Fire Emblem where it's permadeaths, it's just as soon as somebody dies, you can go back to the church and revive them. But it's not the case with the party leader. So as you can tell, if you watch the first one, the battle scenes are almost identical. The animations are a little better, but that's about it. So normally I try to farm. I have my certain spots that I like to farm. Since this is the first battle, sometimes I like to come back here 2-3 times. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to beat these demons and move forward. But there will be spots a little bit later where I might just do some leveling off camera to work on the promotions. And if you didn't watch the first one, promotions are basically once you hit a certain level, you can change basically you can change the attacks and like the look of the character. The penalties for this one aren't as bad as they were in the first one. So I usually, as soon as my characters hit level 20, I usually just go ahead and promote them. For most of them, there are a couple that I put off because of the special items you can obtain. And I don't think there's any missable characters in this one like there were in the last one, like with the ninja samurai, I think. Well, I mean, I guess you can miss the people in Creed's mansion. But, no, I don't think you can miss those, because you can go back. Anyway, I don't want to keep, like, spoiling things. We're just gonna keep going. So yeah, this is, probably my second favorite game of all time. I played it when I was a kid. We really didn't know how to get past a certain point, but then I figured it out, like, a couple years later, and then, you know, ended up finally beating the game, and, it was pretty awesome, like, to see the ending and do the whole thing. There actually is a secret battle to the very end of this, which is kind of cool. You basically fight every single boss again, but all at the same time. So it's kind of like a rush type thing. It's a little crazy because the some of the enemies, the late game enemies, they're really tough. They have multiple colored health bars. Which some of your characters get to, but I mean, it's anything that has HP over 100, it gets a different color. So if I reach 101, I'll have a little tiny speck of green. But some enemies have 2, 3, 400 HP, so it gets a little nuts. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes dodging is getting low rolls on it. Thankfully that time I actually hit them. Now you can't attack that red gizmo, and you can't attack Sir Astral. Not that you would want to, but you just can't do it. So once we defeat all these lesser gizmos, we will move on to the next scene, pretty much. So this area is very special. We're going to be revisiting it on more than one occasion. So now that the gizmo is gone, we have to go check on the king. Because as you can see, anybody who stood up against the gizmo has been fainted. They're not dead, but they're fainted. So let's check the princess. Just because that's the only other interaction we really have with her. So you can see that the evil gizmo that we found, the Temple of Ancients, possessed the king. But it gets away, which is bad for everybody. Excuse me. See how callous this guy is? Oh, he was exhausted from the battles, but if he dies, he was old, so he gives a shit. So, let's send these children to go find this man. You know of me. Oh. Just as a little FYI, they don't take no for an answer. So, you have to say yes. You don't get anything for it, you just do it. And that's it. So, nobody really knows what happened in the town. They know something happened, but that was it. This lady here kind of freaks you out. Tells you what's going to happen in Grand Seal. So, I think this is the weapon, dude. Yes, so I am going to upgrade my equipment just a little bit because I have a wooden sword, and I think he's got a wooden stick, which obviously is not going to do anything. Now, in the other game, it did have special items you can use, or you can buy. Didn't really find any, but this one you'll actually be able to get special things. One of them is these slippers. I'll find them a little later. I never actually know what they do. It's not like it increases your range of attack or anything like that, it's just, it makes a funny sound. So Jaha